hard, of course, that's the basic key of being a chartered accountant. You have to work hard sincerely. And the most important thing is enjoy this journey. You should enjoy this journey because this time will not come back. Like we all say, Zindagi na milegi dobara. That's what I'm saying. This is the journey and it's very beautiful. The destination is your chartered accountant. You want to prefix CA in your name. But let me tell you, this is the beautiful time you have. Once you being a chartered accountant, then you will miss those classes, miss your lectures, miss your friends, miss your studies, those nights when you actually put your hard work to becoming a chartered accountant. So enjoy this journey also. So dream big. We will dream big, of course. We will target for 60 plus in every subject. We will be positive always. We will not think negative. Whatever will happen, we will always be positive. Just think positive. That really work. Fine. And work hard. You have to follow this. Work hard. Intelligence is a benefit. If you're intelligent or more than a normal average student, then it's a benefit for you. But if you're a hard worker, you will be a chartered accountant. It does not matter what is your intelligent quotient. And enjoy the journey. This is a beautiful journey. You will miss these days once you become a chartered accountant. So now we will discuss from the topic, the basic concept topic. I have told you that in the third session, I'll take your MCQ test of basic concepts. I asked you that please you should have a paper, a pen and a calculator because I'm going to ask some MCQs and those are technically connected with numerical portion also. Fine. So you should have a paper, a pen and a calculator. Before taking your MCQ, a topic that was related to surcharge. The surcharge topic was a topic which we left in our basic concept session number 2 because that was a really huge topic to cover. We learned technically basic surcharge provision. We learned that in case of individual, if income exceeding, total income exceeding 50 lakh up to 1 crore, there is 10% surcharge. More than 1 CR, 15%. Then 2 CR till 5 CR, it's 25%. And if your TI is more than 5 CR, then it will be 37%. But there are some more provision also. What we are going to discuss in next 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then I'll take a MCQ test. And then we will start today's session of residential status. Okay. So you all are sending good morning. So let me see back. Good morning. Tulsi, Rajeshwari, good morning. Sandeep, good morning. Mansi, good morning. Parth Shah, good morning. Pooja, good morning, of course. Surbi, good morning. Namrata, good morning, good morning, good morning. Everyone, a very, very, very happy good morning to all of you. So are you ready for today's session? I hope yes. So let me share you with the surcharge provision. I have already made this diagram for you. I have uploaded this diagram also on the portal, but let me tell you what is the concept of surcharge. Surcharge have some very specific rates in these assessment year 22, 23 and before that year. There are some special provision regarding surcharge. So we are going to discuss surcharge provisions for individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. General provision regarding these we already have discussed, that 10, 15, 25 and 37. But there are some special provision, and a special provision will apply when there will be some special income. So there are 3 special incomes. I have already made this diagram for you when I was waiting before the lecture. So there are some special income. That is, one is long-term capital gain under section 112A. You will read in detail what is long-term capital gain 112A. Do not ask me now because that is our income which will be covered under the capital gain chapter. Fine. So there is an income. Just assume there is an income that is called long-term capital gain under section 112A. There is a short-term capital gain income under section 111A. And there's an income called dividend income. So if you have these 3 income or any of them, all of 3 or any 2 or any one of income. So if you have assessee have or you have any income out of these income, then the surcharge provision can be changed. All other income will fall in the category of other, like salary income. For the purpose of surcharge, I am taking salary income, business income, house property had income, etc. They will be treated as other income for the purpose of surcharge. And this will be called a special income. That is point number A, income. So if you have any special income, which is either long-term capital gain under section 112A, either short-term capital gain under section 111A, or dividend income, then the surcharge provision might change. And what is the provision? This is called case 1 or option 1. It says if assessee, read it carefully, if assessee, that means any person, if assessee does not have any special income. So it says, suppose Mr. A has income of rupees 75 lakh rupees. But this 75 lakh only comprise these other income. He does not have any income including in this 75 lakh rupees, not long-term cap gain 112A, not short-term 111A, nor dividend income. So if assessee does not have any special income, that means which income he has? He has only these other incomes. Then there is no special provision, general provision, which we already have discussed. Like that is, if income is more than 50 lakh up to 1 crore, we all know 10% surcharge. 1 to 2 crore, 15%, 2 to 5, 25%, and exceeding that, 37%. So if you do not have any special income out of these three income, then surcharge provision will be as we have already discussed. So what is the new in this? New is about to come. This is the new concept. The problem will arise. The problem will arise when assessee does have these income or any one of them. So the second case says if assessee have a special income, any one of it, either long-term 112A, either short-term 111A, or dividend, or all of three, or any two of them. So if these income also earned by assessee, then the problem will arise. And we have now three different circumstances. Just read it carefully. There are three different circumstances and they are mutually exclusive cases. Either A will be applicable, or B case will be applicable, or C case. So they are called mutually exclusive events. So read it carefully. Rates are very simple. You just need to identify in which case my question or my concept is falling. So case A says if total income including a special income up to rupees 2 crore. It says if assessee has total income including a special income up to 2 crore rupees. That means if someone has a special income 80 lakh and other income 100 lakh, then the case will fall in category number A because your income should not exceed 2 crore rupees. So if you have income up to 2 crore and it includes a special income as well as other income. If we do not have a special income, then the case will fall in first option, of course. So in second option, you should have some special income also. So if your total income is less than 2 crore, including the special income and other income, then case A will apply. So what rate will charge? I'll tell you. First, we need to find out which case will apply and when. B case says if other income, read carefully. It says now if only other income excluding special income. So it says if your other income exceeding 2 crore. Now what? For example, if your special income is 1 CR and your other income is 3 CR. So this case will not fall in case A because case A only include those cases when income is up to 2 crore. In our case, total income is 4 crore. And out of these 4 crore, 3 crore belongs to other income and special income is only 1 crore. So if other income excluding special income, just other income, if your other income is exceeding 2 crore, then case will fall in B. If somebody think, what if there is no special income? Obviously, if you do not have any special income, there is no problem. Your case will fall in option number 1. So option 2, again, I am telling you that it will be applicable when you have some special income. So if you have special income and other income, total is up to 2 crore, case A will apply. If your other income is exceeding 2 crore, Your special income is like 10 lakh, 15 lakh, whatever amount does not matter. But if your other income exceeding 2 crore, then case B will apply. And C says if your total income, now total income means other income as well as special income. If those exceeding now 2 crore, then case C will apply. So remember, it's very easy. Just understand what I'm saying. Case A says your special income plus other income up to 2 crore. Case C, skip the case B, understand the case C. Case C is vice versa of case number A. It says your total income including special income more than 2 crore. Got it? A case says your total income including special income up to 2 crore. And case C says your total income including special income more than 2 crore. So A and C's are vice versa. And B says if your other income only exceeding 2 crore without including the special income, then case B will apply. So what will be the rate and the detailed diagram? Let me show you the detailed diagram. I have already uploaded that also. So that was this is our detailed diagram, what I've already uploaded. You can see the same diagram which I just showed you, but it's more systematically maintained. New surcharge provision for individual, HUF, AOP and BOI. You can see that. Now, in case of case 1, say if TI does not consist long-term 112A, short-term 11A and dividend. I told you if these are not, these incomes does not exist, then surcharge as follows. It's simple provision 10, 15, 25, 37. Okay. So special provision will apply when there are special income. Now case number 2 says if TI consisting long-term 112A or short-term 111A or dividend, then case I told you what? If TI including special income is up to 2 crore. Now what rate will be applicable? Understand? If TI including 112A or special income 11A or dividend is up to 2 crore, then if TI exceeding 50 lakh and up to 1 CR, surcharge will be 10% on tax. Same provision we already know. And if TI, whenever it exceeding 1 crore, then surcharge of 15% will be applicable on tax. Simple. If case B says, or you can directly move to case C. C is opposite of case number A. It says if TI including 112A, 11A, etc. exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR. It's exceeding 2 CR. Whether exceeding 5 CR or not, it does not matter. So if your TI including special income exceeding 2 CR, then the fixed rate of surcharge will be applicable 15%. Irrelevant of your 2 CR exceeding or 5 CR. The surcharge will be 15%. There is no 25% concept. There is no 37% concept. So if your TI including a special income up to 2 CR, then case A will be applicable. If your TI including special income exceeding 2 CR, then last case number C will be applicable and surcharge rate is a uniform 15%. And now case number B. Case B says if TI excluding special income, then what we are considering only other income. So if your TI excluding special income is exceeding 2 CR, then surcharge will be separate for both incomes. On special income, surcharge rate will be 15%. On special income, surcharge rate will be 15%. And on other income, if it exceeding 2 CR up to 5 CR, then it will be 25% because it's always 25% when your TI exceeding 2 CR. And if your TI exceeding 5 CR, then surcharge rate will be 37% of tax. So case B is more important than case number A or C because A is very simple. A says if your income is up to 2 CR, then surcharge rate will be either 10 or 15. If exceeding 2 CR, then surcharge rate is fixed 15%. But if it is only your other income exceeding 2 CR, then surcharge rate will be applicable different. On special income, it will be 15%. On other income, it might be 25% or 37%. I have made an example also for you over here. So you will be understand more easily. You have to find it out which case is applicable. Whether there is a special income, yes or no. If there is special income, whether it's including other income up to 2 CR, case A applicable. If including other income is special income, it's more than 2 CR, case C applicable. And if case A or C is not applicable, then automatically case B is applicable. Let's see how. Example number 1, we have 6 examples to understand, of course. So that is in question is given, other income is 70 lakh. Suppose other income is given 70 lakh rupees and dividend, etc. special income is nil. So there is no special income. Very welcome. If there is no special income, then normal case applicable. And in normal case, if your income exceeding 50 lakh, what is surcharge rate? It's 10%. Sorted. Second, now other income is 80 lakh and special income is 1.90. So now total income is 2.70. So other income individually not exceeding 2 crore, but aggregated other income as well as special income now it exceeding 2 crore. So which case is applicable? Now the case applicable is C. So tax surcharge rate will be 15% on tax. Now 90 lakh and 80 lakh again. Now total is 1.70. So including other and special income. Now it's up to 2 crore. That means less than 2 crore. So what provision will applicable? Case number A. And because it's exceeding 1 crore up to 2 crore, then surcharge rate will be 15%. Now your other income is 1.30 crore and dividend or special income is 2 CR. So total is exceeding 2 CR, including both income. So case will fall in case number C. Surcharge rate will be 15%. Now other income is 4 CR and special income is 1 CR. Now C, because other income exceeding 2 CR individually, it does not need special income. It is exceeding 2 CR. So now case B will applicable. So in that case, on special income, surcharge rate will be always 15% in B case, and on other income, because it's exceeding 2 CR up to 5 CR range. So it always rate tax surcharge rate is 25% if your income is between 2 to 5. Example 6 says, just a second. Okay, so example 6 says your other income is 6 CR and your special income is 2 CR. Now other income again exceeding 2 CR. So case, of course, B will be applicable and rate will be 15, and because other income exceeding 5 CR, rate will be 37%. Last case, your other income is 4 CR and special income is nil. So case will fall in option number 1. There will be no problem. 4 CR, that means 2 to 5 CR range, surcharge rate will be 25%. Clear? So back to our provision. I hope you all must have your now paper, pen and calculator. So let's discuss these provision and I'm going to ask MCQs. Let's get ready for it. Okay. So this is chapter 1. And this is day 2 questions. We'll do it fast because we have to move on to the other topic also. So I hope you all are ready. So send me a ready. So we will start it. Kushi is asking on which amount these tax rate will be applicable. I have told you surcharge is applicable on tax. So whatever tax you will calculate, surcharge always applicable on tax. Okay. Somebody is asking, Siddhant is asking, good morning, sir. Good morning, Siddhant. I passed my foundation exam in December 21. Congratulations. Can I refer these lectures? Yes, these lectures are applicable for May 22 exam and also for November 22 examination. So you can, of course, refer these, of course. So I hope you all are ready. Let's see how ready you are. So this is question number 1. Basic concepts: a person who is assessable in respect of income of some other person is called. So in the definition we have of course in notes we have already know about this. So tell me answer of question number 1 and please answer fast. So can you see the sheet? I guess no. Just wait. Let me start the screen share. Sorry for the inconvenience. Chaliye. Question number 1 is a person who is accessible in respect of income of some other person is called. Yeah, I just forgot to share it. So now you all must have seen it. So a person, and please, whenever you write, send me the answer. Just write it down. Question 1, option correct option. Just don't send me the only option because it might happen that your answer comes late. So whenever you answering me, write down question 1 and your option answer, whether it's A, B, or C or D. So I will be in I can understand in which question you are technically answer the option. Some students just said C, A, B, D. I might have getting your answer late, so I might say that's a wrong answer. So please write down the question. Okay. That was question A. A person who is accessible in respect of income of some other person, what we called it. Assessee, assessee in default, association of person, or deemed assessee. So correct answer is, of course, option D. Let's see who sent me these answer. Okay, a lot of students sent me the correct answer. Of course, Dipanshu said D. Congratulations, very nice. Okay, Vandana is also saying D. Very nice. Abhesha is saying D. Khushi saying D. Somebody say B. Modugu, it's not B, it's D. Okay, you can refer the notes, of course, if there's some confusion. Then again, B, Jamil, no, not B. If you are paying tax on behalf of some other person, that's called deemed assessee. Okay. So the correct answer was D. Let's move on to the second question first. The question number 2. Mr. Kishore has made investment of rupees 10 lakh, but shows in income tax return at rupees 8 lakh. Balance rupees 2 lakh can be treated as. Question number 2. Read it and send me the answer as soon as possible. Wow, a lot of answers. You guys are not sleeping. Very nice. I'm really proud. Okay, so question number 2, send me the correct answer as soon as possible. Let me tell you, today we have also one MCQ topic also after residential status provision. So you have a lot of to solve today. Question number 2. So answer me. Question number 2, what it will be called? The correct answer is C, an investment not fully disclosed. Because Mr. Kishore has made some investment of rupees 10 lakh, but only shows 8 lakh. So he does not declare the full amount. So that will be answered as option number C. That is investment not fully disclosed. Correct answer is C. Okay, Jamil is saying C. Very good. Divya from Mumbai is saying C. Again, I am saying please write down the question number, Divya. Fine. So I'll come to know of what question you are answering. So always answer 2 and then your option. Fine. Mridul is also saying B. No, not these are not correct answer. The correct answer is C. Anita is saying B. No, it's C. C, 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 CA wala C. Okay. So the correct answer was C. Very nice. You all are responding in a huge quantity. I'm really feeling so happy. Okay, question number 3. In case of non-resident shipping business under section 172, Mr. Vinod earned freight of rupees 50 lakh. What will be his income to discharge his tax liability? Read it carefully. I am not asking his tax. I am asking what will be his income. So understand, always read the question correctly. I am asking what will be considered as his income. So you have to answer it. Do it fast. So correct answer is, of course, let's see. The correct answer is, of course, A. Very well done. High five from Wi-Fi to everyone. Those are answering correct. Very nice. The correct answer is A, because 7.5% will be treated as his income. So 50 lakh, 7.5% will come to 3,75,000. Great work. Question number 4. This is very interesting, of course. You have to think and answer. Will Filmfare Award event fall under section 174A? That is assessment of AOP, BOI, AJP formed for a particular event. You just need to answer true or false, the option A or B. What is the correct answer of question number 4? You all are giving correct answers. What happened? Wow, great work. Question 4. Is it true and false? You have to tell me question number 4 answer. The surcharge provision we discussed today, they are slightly confusing, but you should go through a chart once, and whatever 7 question I have been just discussed today with examples, then just try to solve it again, and you will find it out. That's very simple. You just need to find out which case that assessee is following, and then you will get the answer. Okay, what is the answer of question number 4? Nobody replied me yet. Do it fast. Do not sleep. Okay, question number 4 answer I just received. True, 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 A, true. Somebody saying false. Mr. Parth say false. B. Okay. A. Somebody also said B. Patel Mitali. She's saying B. That means false. A. Okay. Prajakta is also saying B. And Abhay is also saying B. And almost Gadi Siri also saying B, and Mohit Chaudhary also saying B. So I personally feel almost 90% of the answer is saying A, and only 10% are saying B. The correct answer is B. Yes, the correct answer is B. I told you, read it carefully, because Filmfare Award is an event which does happen every year. Section 174A cover only those events which will happen once, and after that it dissolve. I told you. But Filmfare, the organization which run this event, does not dissolve because they do it regularly every year. We were talking about in section 174A for any event which will be organized once, and the next time when it will be organized, we do not know. So that kind of event will fall section 174A, but any Filmfare, Screen Award, etc., they do organized every year, and the organization what does that does not dissolve. So the Filmfare Award or any like the Miss India contest of course organized every year in India. So that is the event which is technically organized once in a year, but that is going to be happen every year, like the IPL. You can understand more clearly. The IPL is actually annually happened. So it is not section 174 because it happens every year, and the body BCCI which is organizing it's not getting dissolved every year. So that these kind of events will not fall section 174A. Those happen once in a year but does not get dissolved, and the occurrence is regularly happening. So the answer is false. Filmfare will not fall in that category. Now question number 5. Income includes. You have to answer me, and you have to answer me correct, because that's a very simple question. Income includes monetary, non-monetary, facilities, or D point all. So I'll not take much time in this, and the correct answer is all, because income includes monetary, non-monetary, facilities, everything. Okay. Income chargeable to tax are gross receipt, net receipt, both or none. Because very simple question, I'm answering you right now because we have to move on to the other topic also. Fine. So the correct answer is we've already discussed. That is net receipt. Income is chargeable on net receipt basis. Dividend income and CA in practice income is taxable under. If you're earning a dividend income and CA is earning out of his practice income, that is going to be taxable under which head? The correct answer will be C. Income from other source and TGBP. Mr. Arvind Sharma, Ajay Sharma, Adesh Sharma, individuals aged 45 years, 65 years, 85 years respectively, and they are resident. What will be the minimum amount of income not chargeable to tax? That should be exempted income. We can say what will be the amount of income not chargeable to tax. So the correct answer is, of course, you already know. The correct answer is C. That is 2,50,000, 3 lakh, and 5 lakh. Because Mr. Arvind is 45 years of age, that is not senior citizen. He'll get the benefit of 2,50,000. Then senior citizen will get the benefit of 3 lakh, and the super senior citizen will get the benefit of 5 lakh rupees. Rebate under section 87A is applicable for question number 9. Give me the answer. I am waiting for this answer because I want that you should answer me correct of question number 9. Very good. You all are working so good. I'm really happy to see that nobody is sleeping. They all are working hard. That's what we need to becoming a chartered accountant. You just need to work hard. You should take your classes regularly. You should study regularly. You should not skip your routine of study. Of course, you have to focus what you have planned. And if you have planned and you focus on your plan, then of course you're going to be a CA very soon. So question number 9 answer I want. Rebate under section 87A is applicable for whom? The correct answer is individual and resident only. The individual and resident only. These are the person who can get the rebate under section 87A. The correct option is A. Now solve this question, question number 10, and you have to find it out. HUF has total income of rupees 4 lakh. Calculate total tax without opting for section 115BAC. HUF total income is 4 lakh rupees. You have to calculate total tax without opting for section 115BAC. Answer this. Let me see who can answer this correctly. And firstly, of course, read it carefully and answer. Question number 10, the answer I want. Parth is giving the answer. Question number 10, answer is saying B. Okay, anybody else? What will be the correct answer of question number 10? Okay, somebody saying is a lot of answer I got actually. And so somebody saying D, none of the above, of course. Wow, Himanshi is saying, of course, A, and Sandeep is saying B, and Vrinda is saying A. Then B is Harsh Goel, B. Somebody is saying Akash is saying C. Okay, and again, Kanishk is saying C. Madhuri is saying C. Namrata saying B. Okay, Janpati is saying B. Okay, so let me do the correct answer. The correct answer is C. Option C, not B, not A, not D. Why? Because HUF does not have rebate. So you have to calculate tax on HUF of rupees 4 lakh. So 2,50,000 will be exempted. Then balance is, if 2,50,000 is exempted, then we have to calculate tax on 1,50,000. And that at the rate of 5%. That will come 7,500. But you forgot that you have to apply cess also. I told you what is the format. The format is tax minus rebate plus surcharge and plus cess 4%. So if you are calculating tax, that is 7,500, then rebate will not applicable because it's not applicable for HUF. It's only for individual plus resident. Then surcharge is not applicable because income not exceeding 50 lakh, but cess will always be applicable. When there will be tax, there will be cess. 4% of 7,500, that will come 300. The total answer will be 7,800. Okay. Question 11 is very simple. You can solve it. Surcharge in case of partnership firm. Surcharge in case of partnership firm is 1 crore. If income exceeding 1 crore, then 12%. The correct answer is B. Calculate marginal relief if Mr. Sudeep Jain, an individual resident age 43 year, has total income of rupees 40 lakh without opting for section 115 BAC. I have told you that marginal relief will be applicable only when surcharge provision is applicable. If your total income falls within the category, when surcharge is applicable, only that marginal relief will be applicable. So because income is less than 50 lakh in this question, so there will be no concept of marginal relief. We do not need to do any calculation. If you find income which is not chargeable to surcharge given in question, and examiner is asking the MR, the marginal relief, then you can write it down. That is not applicable. So the correct answer will be D. Calculate marginal relief in case of Mr. Kishore, age 51 year, resident, total income is rupees 1 crore 1 lakh without opting for section 115 BAC. So you all can calculate it. We will discuss this answer in next session because I want to start the new topic because we are getting late. It's already 40 minutes have been passed. So you can solve it later, of course. Calculate tax if Mr. Anvesh, age 65 year, non-resident, TI is 4 lakh without opting for section 115 BAC. So these both questions you can solve it. I'll upload the correct answer on the portal today. You can find it out. And if there is any confusion, I'll solve it for you. Okay. So let's moving on to our new topic, that is residential status. This is our today's topic. So today we will discuss the provision of a person to be a resident or non-resident, etc. So what generally happens, why we are studying this topic? Because in India, our tax is calculated on the basis of our residential status. We have already discussed these words in chapter 1 also, and at that time I said it's a detailed topic. It's a detailed topic which will be covered in chapter number 2. But for time being, I told you that if you live in India, you are generally resident. If you live outside India, you are generally non-resident. But today we will discuss in detail who will be technically a resident or a non-resident. Why we need to find it out that you are a resident or a non-resident? Because in India, your income will be taxable on the basis of your residential status. That means your residential status impact your tax liability. So technically, we need to know that who is a resident in India, because if you are a resident in India, the separate rate structure or the provision will be applicable. If you are a non-resident in India, then separate rate or structure will be applicable. So today we will discuss who will be a resident or a non-resident in India. Before that, read the quotation. Change is the nature of life, but challenge is the aim of life. So that challenge for your life is CA, Chartered Accountant. That's a challenge and you have to win it. You have to conquer it. And I do believe, those are sincere, those are hard workers, those are enjoying the study, will definitely gonna crack this course and you will be a Chartered Accountant. So make a plan of like that. What I have done in my study time, that I read 5 days in a week very sincerely. Like from Monday or to Friday, I read technically a study very sincerely. And in Saturday, 50% I just took off from study. I do study on Saturday, but not that much what I've done in last 5 days. And on Sunday also, I just relax myself. I enjoy, I play cricket, I play games, I went to with my friends, etc. So that kind of plan will make your life easy, because for 5 days, after 5 or 6 days, you cannot study for 3 years every day like the same. So you have to enjoy your life also, because that will create interest in study. I told you the day your interest gonna actually decreasing in study, from that day you will really going to find it out that study is really difficult. So it's very important that you should create your interest in study. And for that, you have to do other thing also, but the proportion will be like 80-20. 80% you should be sincere with the study and 20% you should live your life also. So that's the way you can plan your study, and you have to revise your syllabus twice before examination. I always believe if you revise your syllabus twice before your examination, then you are going to crack any course in this life from class 1 till chartered accountant or any other course also. Fine. So today we will discuss this residential status provision, and that is we need to know how can we determine the status of any person, whether he's a resident or he's a non-resident. So the concept says residential status, but before finding out that how we find the status, residential status of a person, I need to discuss two other more important terms. Then we will move on to that, because these terms will fall in our chapter status, and if we did not discuss these terms, that might be a problem that we will not be able to understand the provision in detail. So there are two simple words we need to understand before finding out the status provision, and that is one is citizen of India, and the word is person of Indian origin. Person of Indian origin and citizen of India. It's very simple. Those who reside in India permanently, those are called citizen of India. So if you have a permanent address, your residential permanent address in India, then we will be called a citizen of India. And the document to find it out is passport. If Mr. A comes to you and asks, tell me whether I am a citizen of India or not, then you have to ask him, show me your passport, and in passport there is a column which is said country, and if in that country it's written India, then you will be called a citizen of India. Simple, sorted. And you all might be thinking that if somebody does not have a passport, as might be you do not have a passport, then what will happen? It's also very simple. If you do not have a passport, what does that mean? That you did not went outside India ever in your life. Clear? If you do not have any passport, that means you did not went outside India ever. So where is your permanent address? Which is your permanent country of residing? Of course, that's in India. So it's very simple. Those who have passport, you have to see the permanent country, which country they reside. And if it's in India, they are called citizen. And if somebody does not have a passport in India, that automatically means he or she will be always be called a citizen of India. Clear? Now the other definition is person of Indian origin. Now it's a different definition. Person of Indian origin says that if you need to find out if there is someone, Mr. you can say Rajiv, and you find out whether Mr. Rajiv is a person of Indian origin or not, then what we need to do? We need to see, we need to find out, we need to know that Mr. Rajiv birth or his parents' birth or his grandparents' birth. If Mr. Rajiv birth or his parents or his grandparents, anyone, whether himself or anyone of his parents or anyone of his grandparents, if anyone born in undivided India, that means before the partition of India-Pakistan took place. So if any one of them born or take birth in undivided India, then Mr. Rajiv will be called a person of Indian origin. Understand? If Mr. Rajiv grandmother born in undivided India, Mr. Rajiv grandmother born in Lahore in 1942. Imagine Mr. Rajiv grandmother born in Lahore in 1942. So that time Lahore was a part of India because that was before partition. Partition took place in 1947. So because she born in undivided India, so who will be called a person of Indian origin? Of course, Mr. Rajiv will be called a person of Indian origin. So if any one of them, whether Mr. Rajiv or his parents or his grandparents, any one of them, if born in undivided India, then Mr. Rajiv will be called a person of Indian origin. Clear? So now we are talking about technically Mr. Rajiv, one person, parents includes 2 and grandparents include 4. Remember, it is maternal as well as paternal. So we are talking about the grandparents, whether it's Dada Dadi and Nana Nani or full of them. So either your maternal or paternal, any one of them grandparents born in undivided India, or any of your parents or you. That means we are considering total 7 people. So if you need to find it out that whether you technically apply this provision upon yourself. You need to find it out that you are a person of Indian origin. Then you should check it out upon yourself. Of course, any of you should not, of course, you are not born before 1947. So you check on yourself or your parents and your maternal as well as paternal grandparents. If any one of them born before 1947 in India, then you will be called a person of Indian origin. Clear? That was person of Indian origin and that was citizen of India. Now we will move on to residential status of a person. That now we will discuss who are resident and who are non-resident, because these terms will affect the residential status of a person. So I discuss it with you before we are going to the topic. So we will not be get disturbed by these definition when they will come between our topic. So our topic, this is residential status section 6 under the Income Tax Act 1961. The total income of each person is taxed on the basis of its residential status. A person's nationality has no effect on his residential status. It means a citizen of India can be a non-resident. We just discussed what is the meaning of citizen of India. So a citizen of India can be a non-resident and a citizen of UK can be a resident. You might be thinking how it's possible. How a citizen of India can be a non-resident and a citizen of UK can be a resident. How? I'll tell you how. Do not worry. We will discuss the provision and then you will understand. Anyone can be a resident. Citizenship does not affect that. Under the Income Tax Act, an individual and HUF can be treated as ordinary, not ordinary resident, or a non-resident, while all other person can be only resident or non-resident. In case of individual and HUF, we have 3 categories, whether you are an ordinary or not ordinary resident or a non-resident, while in all other person can be only resident or non-resident. When will be treated as ordinary, not ordinary, or non-resident, that is going to be discussed very soon. Definition of person of Indian origin. Person of Indian origin means an individual who himself or his parents or his grandparents born in undivided India, whether they are maternal or they are paternal. Remember this, that these both are included, maternal as well as paternal. Now the chart view, of course, we will discuss what is the chart, what we are going to discuss in this chapter. So status, we will discuss, scope of total income we will discuss. So this chart is going to be discussed one by one of topic. The incidence of tax, section 6 says the incidence of tax. Incidence means burden, impact, imposition. The incidence of tax on any SSE, the incidence of tax on any SSE depends upon his residential status under the Act. For all purpose of income tax, taxpayers are classified into 3 broad categories. For the purpose of tax payment, the taxpayers are classified into 3 broad categories on the basis of their residential status. The categories are Either you will be a resident and ordinary resident, in short we called it ROR. Resident but not ordinary resident, we called it resident NOR, that means short form is RNOR, and the other is non-resident. Okay. This is the diagram. I have told you that in case of individual and HUF, they can be resident or ordinary resident or not ordinary resident or non-resident. How we find it out, how it happens, I will tell you. For other, there will be only two categories, whether you are a resident or a non-resident. Now I'll make a diagram. With the help of that diagram, I'll make you understand how to find it out the resident status of a different person. So if you will understand that diagram is correctly, then the provision is going to be really easy. And let me tell you, for examination purpose, these provision generally comes like a numerical. So you have to focus on these provision, and because of some special amendments has been made in these provision, they technically became very important chapter. The residential status is a very important chapter for numerical as well as theoretical provision due to some special amendment came in this. So let me tell you the provision of residential status. So in case of residential status, we have to find out the status of all person. Now, if I'm saying person, that means section 231 definition of 8 categories people, what we have discussed. In that category we have discussed, those are individual, then HUF, then AOP, then BOI, then partnership, firm, and LLP, then company, then local authority, and then artificial judicial person. So the 8 persons were there. So we will going to discuss the residential status of in each of these cases. So we will discuss it like this. This is individual. We have to find it out when an individual will be called a resident. Then we have HUF. We have to find it out when HUF will be called a resident. Then we have company. We have to find it out when a company will be called a resident. And then partnership firm. So we are going to discuss the residential status of these persons. Now you might be thinking where other have gone, because individual, HUF, company, and firm. So whether these other 4 have been gone. So the provision says all other will also be treated as resident or non-resident as per the provision of firm. So these 3 have specific provision. We can say individual, HUF, company, and all other will fall in the 4th category with partnership firm. So the provision which is related to partnership firm has been applicable to the rest of person also. Got it? Now we will start from partnership firm. We will start from here. When a partnership firm will be called a resident or non-resident. It's very simple. We all know what is the meaning of partnership firm. So if we need to find it out, then when a partnership firm is going to be or to be called a resident or non-resident, we have to check this. What? We have to check the control and management. Control and management. We have to check control and management of that partnership firm. Now, what is the meaning of control and management? That's also very simple. It says you have to see where the business meeting of that firm held. I'm not saying that you have to see where the partnership firm has been registered. It might be registered anywhere, but we are saying we have to see where the business meetings generally held of that partnership firm. So it says if the business meeting wholly outside India, for example, the partnership firm had 10 business meetings in a previous year, 10, and all of them held outside India, all of them, then that partnership firm will be called a non-resident person. We will say the partnership firm is a non-resident partnership firm if it's all business meeting held outside India, and if wholly or partly in India, then that partnership firm will be called resident. It's very simple. You can see how easy provision have been made. Very simple provisions. Like you have to find out the control and management, and it will be given in question. That control management is in India or not. And how you will find it out? Because the business meeting provision will be given in the question. It will say that there will be total 10 meetings, and out of that 10 meetings, 8 held outside India, 2 held in India. What will be called? It will be called a resident, because to becoming a non-resident, all business meetings should be held outside India. Out of 10, all 10. So if there is total 10 meetings, and out of that 10 meetings, 1 held in India, only 1, and 9 outside India, what it will be called? It will be called a resident in India. So that is the provision to find out the residential status of a partnership firm. Easy. Now moving on to company. So it says company will be either Indian company, or company will be either foreign company. So if you are an Indian company, you will always be treated as resident in India. You do not need to see anything. You do not need to check anything. It's fixed provision. If you are an Indian company, you will be called a resident in India. Done? Sorted. Now, if you are a foreign company, then we have to find it out a different concept, which is called POEM. A new concept has been made that is called place of effective management. Place of effective management. So it says if it is a foreign company, then you have to find it out that where is the place of effective management of that foreign company. If the place of effective management is in substance, that means majority, in substance in India, then will be called a company will be called resident. And if it is outside India in substance, then the company will be called non-resident. So in case of firm, you have to find it out in the business meetings. But in case of a company, you have to find it out if it is a foreign company, only then you have to find where is the place of effective management of that company. So if the place of effective management is in India, then in substance, then it will be a resident, otherwise it will be a non-resident. Now you might be thinking, what is the meaning of this? So there is a good news for you, that this is in meaning concept will be discussed in final. So at your level, it will be given in question directly, that place of effective management in substance in India or outside. So you need to just answer if it is in India, resident, otherwise it will be a non-resident. So what is the concept of POEM? That is not in your syllabus. Okay, so that's a good news for you, of course. Now moving on to HUF provision. Whether it's a HUF is a resident or non-resident. Now HUF is also same provision like partnership firm, that you have to see the control and management. Same, exactly same concept is say. You have to see the control and management as in case of partnership firm. The control management meaning also same. That is again business meeting. You have to find it out where the business meetings are held. And if same concept wholly outside India, then HUF is non-resident. And if it is wholly or partly in India, then it will be a resident. Now you might be thinking, if the concept is same, then why we did not merge the HUF provision also with the partnership firm? Why? We did not do that. Why? Because partnership firm or company, that means partnership firm, others partnership firm, others, and company. They only have status either resident or non-resident. They have only two status. Either they will be called a resident or non-resident. But in case of partnership firm, in case of HUF, an individual, if HUF is resident, then the answer will move further. It will not end over here. In case of firm, if you are resident, done. If you are non-resident, done. If you are a company, resident, done. Non-resident, done. You do not need to check anything else. But in case of HUF, if that HUF becomes resident, then there are two subcategories also. So the answer will not end if an HUF becoming a resident. If it is a non-resident, answer ends. But if it's a resident, then you have to find two more categories. One is RNOR. I told you the full form, resident or not ordinary resident. Or one is ROR, that is resident and ordinary resident. So after becoming a resident, HUF need to be classified in examination or in question either in resident or not ordinary resident or resident or ordinary resident. When it will be called a resident or not ordinary resident or resident ordinary resident, that will be discussed after the provision of individual because they are correlated to each other. If I'll explain you right now the meaning of resident or not ordinary resident, you will not going to understand it. You will be completely bowled out by it. So because individual has some substance, some relation with this concept, so we will discuss first individual concept of resident, non-resident, RNOR, ROR. Then you will automatically understand how to find it out, the HUF, RNOR and ROR. So till now it's clear what we discussed. We discussed about the status of firm and others. We discussed about the company status. We have discussed the HUF resident, non-resident status. So what we left, we have to understand the residence status provision of individual. We have to understand the HUF subclassification, which is ROR or RNOR. Clear? So now let me take the queries, then we will go further. देखते हैं क्या क्या पूछा है आपने. ओके 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 ओके. पेज अप. ओके, सो गुड मॉर्निंग हमारा हो गया था. उसके बाद ये सब भी डिस्को हो गया. Mr. Hariharan is asking, good morning, sir. I have worked out all sums of unit 1. Very nice. Congratulations. But practical problem 5 and 6, little tricky. Can you explain? Okay, I'll explain. I'm noting it down and I'll explain whether it today or tomorrow. Today or next session for sure. Okay. Okay. Voice is not audible. It's sometime it is some NAT glitches. It happens at your side because from my side it's completely okay because the technical team what we are working, they told me if there is any video lagging or is there audio lagging, but at your part it might be some internet issue. Fine. So you can do one thing. If there's some problem, you can again see the video or audio. It will be really easy. So Rakesh from Jodhpur is also saying good morning. Good morning. Okay, I've answered this. Okay, these are your MCQs. Somebody asked something. Okay. Miss Vanashri with once is saying, good morning, sir. I'm sorry it's not related to our topic, but your last 2 lectures attended recorded. Sir, I want to say thanks to ICAI. I also want to say thanks to ICAI, of course. Okay, these are MCQs, queries, answers we have discussed. Okay, we move on to your query. Yes, I am receiving everyone's answer. Don't worry. All answers are reaching to me, but it happens what the lot of students who answer. So I cannot take everyone's name. So I randomly takes the name, but all of you, those are answering. I got all the answers. Keep it up. Okay, now queries, MCQs, answers. A lot of MCQs answer are there. Okay, Miss Surbi was asking, in which category then Filmfare Award event will fall? They are normal business. They are normal business. They will not fall in that previous year and same year tax provision. They are normal business, so they will fall in the business category. That event will not fall under those provisions, section 172, 174. No, that will be not in that category. They are the normal business, like BCC organizing cricket tournament, etc. So they are a natural business activity. So there are normal business activities. Vrinda is asking, sir, Olympics happening in 2023 in India. Who says this? Who says Olympics is happening in India? Vrinda, who told you this? I don't know. I believe it's not happening. It's not happening till 2030. It's not happening. So, but if you say it's Olympic, you should say the Commonwealth game, etc. So any Asian games. So whenever any these kind of games also happen, so there is a body which organize it. So that body remains always. So that the person who organizing it, if that dissolve, then section 174A applicable. Because if that person is over here, then government say we will collect tax later. So that person who is organizing it, if he or she is leaving and there is no such organization which will be continue after that event, then the section 174A provision will be applicable. Okay, this is let me see the queries. Okay, MCQs answers. Okay, Anushka, MCQs. Yes, of course, Anush, MCQ will be available on portal. The day one MCQ is already uploaded, and today is the day 2. So after our session, I'll upload the day 2 MCQs also with answers. Okay, Olympic questions answer I have already given to you. Okay. Okay, Deepanshu asking, sir, why long-term capital gain has basic exemption of 2,50,000 illustration 7, but it is not there in question number 5. Which illustration 7 you are talking about? In which question number 5 you are questioning? I'm not getting it, Deepanshu. Please ask the question in detail. Illustration 7, which illustration you are talking, of course? Okay. Next, Gitika is asking, sir, in case of black money, can it be possible that the tax charged by the IT department will be more than the amount of black money? No, generally it's not possible, because the amount of tax, that is the amount which government can recover from it. Due to penalty, etc., it can happen, the amount can go up, but due to tax, it cannot go up. How many hours do you usually study? Who's asking? Panda is asking. There is no fixed concept that how many hours you need to clear the chartered accountant course, because we all are different. We all are belongs to different kind of. We all have different kind of brain, IQ level, etc. So some student might getting something quickly, some takes time, some needs a lot of more time, etc. So there is no fixed time. But you should, that's why I always say, you should revise your syllabus twice. For that, you might need 10 hours to study in a day. The other might needs 12 hours. Somebody else need only 4 hours, etc. I generally used to study from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. That was my routine to study. I study at 10 p.m., start from 10 p.m. night and study up to 3 a.m. in the morning. So those 5 hours, nobody disturbs. Even phone, you should switch off your phone. No work for you. You not need to go anywhere. Nobody is going to ask you for any work. So that will be a time which is not going to be disturbed by anyone. So if you study for that 5 hour at night duration from 10 p.m. to 3 p.m., that is equivalent to almost 8, 9, 10 hours study from the daytime. And in daytime, you complete your classes, you should watch your lectures, you should do your other things. But if you try to read at night time duration, that will really help you, because that 5 hours equivalent to almost 9 hours of a day study if you are studying at night. Okay, that was my funda. Okay, so if we do not have passport, then logically we never went outside India, correct, Miss Dubey? Next, Sushil asking, please, sir, distinguish between citizen of India and the person of Indian origin. There is a very clear difference. If you are a permanent address in India, then you will be called a citizen of India. And person of Indian origin relates with your birth. If, like Priyanka Chopra, she fall in the definition of person of Indian origin. So even if she got the citizenship outside India, she will remain the person of Indian origin. Like I am a person of Indian origin. So even if I leave India, I got the citizenship of USA, but I will be called a person of Indian origin for this lifetime. So citizenship can be changed. If you leave India and reside permanently anywhere else and got the citizenship of that country, you can be citizen of other country also, but you cannot be a person of Indian. You cannot escape the definition of person of Indian origin if you falls once in this definition. Yes, maternal, grandmother, and paternal both including. Yes, Parth is asking the same question, which is technically asked by some students in every session, in every relationship status provision. Whenever I teach person of Indian origin, this question is going to be asked by someone. That's actually happen every time. And there's a definition. Sir, he's asking, sir, for next generation, our kid, they will not be person of Indian origin because 7 specified person not born in undivided India. Correct, very correct. Government might change the definition with a circular notification. Government might include you, parents, grandparents, and great grandparents. They can do it. So if they'll do it, they will also be POIU, person of Indian origin. And if they'll don't do it, government does not include great grandparents, then of course they will not be called a person of Indian origin. Okay. Navneet asking, what if they are born in divided India? If nobody is born before undivided India, then you or that person about whom we are finding this, they will not be called person of Indian origin. Maternal, paternal, what's the difference, sir? Do not ask me, Jamil. Maternal means your mother's side, maternal means, yes, your mother's side grandparent like Nana Nani. And paternal means your father's side grandparents like Dada and Dadi. Okay. Next, Dipanshu again asking, sir, why long-term capital gain has basic exemption of 250 in illustration 7, but it is not there in question number 5. Dipanshu, please tell me illustration 7 of study you are saying, question number 5 of study or whatever illustration I have given to you in my notes, that then I can find it out what you are saying. Next is Parth Shah. Sir, a small suggestion, you can use Microsoft OneNote instead of a whiteboard. No. Okay. I'm really friendly with this, of course, Parth. Sorry. Ambir Maurya, yes, these lectures are applicable for May 22 and November 22 examination also. Business meeting. Next is Rupesh asking, companies employee register, PAN and IT register. Okay. All clear, not able to download notes. That's no query. Okay, Kumbu Dorji asking, sir, you can explain company register status once more. You can scroll back the video and you can find it out. It's very simple. There's nothing complicated in company status. You can scroll back and check it out. Okay, Madhuri is saying a question. A person become resident in more than one country, yet it might be possible. It might be possible that you can be a resident of 2 countries because this country say the control management might be, other country also say this, so that can be possible, of course. Okay. Karthik Gupta is asking, sir, if meetings have been done electronically, like if meeting is done electronically, then the host, the position of host from where that meeting is organizing, generally that might be applicable for the purpose of finding out whether it's outside India or India. So like the host, if is in India and then organizing a virtual meeting, then it might be thinking that that is organizing in India. So somebody also asked me about what is about the virtual meeting. So if the host is organizing that meeting from India, then it will be called in India. And if the host is outside India, then it might be called a outside India meeting. Okay. Shivam Kumar asking, no, in case of POEM, we need to find it out that the POEM in substance, in majority, not in wholly outside India, not in wholly in India. In substance, that means majority. So that will be given in your question. If it says that POEM in substance in India, then the company will be resident. Otherwise, it will be non-resident. The word is called in substance. Okay, this has happened. Cooperative societies AJP because they are technically registered. AOP is only when that is not registered. So somebody is not registered. How can we say that it's a cooperative society? So technically, if that is you are saying a cooperative society, that means it is registered. That means it will fall under AJP. Okay. Crystal clear. Thank you so much. Anita is saying thank you. I am saying you again thank you. Deepanshu, you are again asking, tell me which illustration in a study or in my notes you are talking about, then I'll be able to tell you what you are actually asking. Okay. Rebate is applicable to all, those are individual plus resident. But because of, in case of super senior citizen, their income up to 5 lakh is exempted. And rebate is applicable only if income is up to rupees 5 lakh. So they cannot take the benefit of rebate technically. Rajini Kumar says, sir, while calculating surcharge, the total income 51 lakh 70,000, the amount cross 50 lakh, that is 1 lakh 71,000, should be added to tax calculated 50 lakh. No, the provision says this is not the provision. Actually, government has made the provision that you have to calculate surcharge on the tax of total income. The concept you are saying is also be corrected technically, but government needs more collection. So government made the provision by which the collection will increase. With the concept you are taking, in that concept, tax collection will be less. So department made a provision by which the tax collection should be increased. Karthik Gupta asking, I just explained about the virtual meeting, of course, the basic exemption limit available for special income. There are a provision will come in future, the calculation of tax on total income. In that case, you will understand on which income you can get the basic exemption limit. In certain incomes, you cannot avail the basic exemption limit. That you will be covered in future chapter. Okay. Okay, got it. Again, then I do all the question, like some practical question number 5, it is tricky one. Ajay Gandhi International Olympic Committee session will be held in Mumbai next year. Yeah, Olympic session can be, but Olympic is not going to be held in India in 2023. If domestic company surcharge rate you're asking, please go through the notes. Do not ask me a question which is already specified in notes. Of course, the surcharge rate has been prescribed in notes. Okay, business income again. Dipanshu is asking finally what he's want to ask. Illustration 7 of chapter 1 has exemption of 250 on long-term cap gain and then tax of 20% is calculated. But in practical question 5 in the book, tax is directly calculated amount of long-term. That might be in case of non-resident 2,50,000 exemption is not applicable in case of long-term cap gain. You might be asking a question of future chapter. So what we are in case of basic concepts chapter, if you are asking this, then I'll see to the notes. If there is any illustration like this, I will explain it to you. But tax rate on short-term cap gain, long-term cap gain, these are provision tax rates are not covered in basic concept provision. So for that, there is separate provision in which we will understand how to calculate tax on total income. Then these provision you will understand. So I'll try these illustration connected to chapter 1. I'll see it, I'll explain it to you. Okay. Okay, Kumbu Dorji say I am a Bhutani citizen and I can travel outside India, but you can only travel. You have to notify it there. When you cross the boundary to Nepal or Bhutan, you have to mention, you have to note it down that yes, I am going for some work. But in that case, also your permanent address will remain from where? India, of course. Okay. You cannot reside outside India and Bhutan. Because illustration 5 years not applied for this one, sir. Can you provide more question for practice as we are citizen of India? Now we once become citizen of most of the countries, say America. It depends how their provision of becoming citizen over there and over here. You can become a citizen of America, then you can come back again to India and reside over here, then you can again become a citizen of India. That's a separate concept, how you become the citizenship of India. That does not cover under the income tax provision. Under our provision, that will be given in question directly whether you are a citizen of India or not. Rebate not applicable for HUF, correct. If you have to pay tax in two countries, then there is a concept of double taxation avoidance agreement. With the help of that avoidance agreement, you can save your tax in one country. How it will happen when you will come in final, you will read that chapter and then you will come to know. And then if there is tax in two countries, then how you can take the benefit of tax of one country in another country. $187 rebate is not applicable in long term. Rebate on long term. Okay. Section 115 BAC is not in our chapter number 1. That will be discussed in later module. It has been notes. It has been written also notes. So kindly attend the full class and please go through the notes. It has been written. Then section 115 BAC will be discussed in, I guess, module number 8, etc. So kindly ask the queries which are related to our chapter. Okay. So back to our notes, we were discussing about the residential status and we discussed about the provision regarding partnership from others. We discussed about the provision regarding company. We have discussed the provision regarding HUF, a certain portion of how an HUF will be called a resident or a non-resident. And now we have left with the individual provision when an individual will be called a resident or non-resident, and when HUA will be called a resident or not ordinary resident or resident ordinary resident. So I'm just going to take a break of 5 minutes, then we'll be come back and we'll resume our provision from there. You also go back, you also go to have some tea, etc. And then we'll be back after 5 minutes. Okay. Welcome back. I hope you must have taken your tea, etc. A break. So we were discussing about the residential status. Let's resume from there. Okay. So because the provision of individual is very important and we can say technical also. And I told you due to some amendment, they are really important for examination also. So I'm starting from in this page. I'll try to explain the provision regarding individuals only because there's a huge provisions. So in case of individuals, how we will find out the residential status? So either your individual will be a non-resident, of course, or he or she will be a resident. Now, resident has two categories, a normal resident, or it will be called a deemed resident. So either you will be a normal resident on section 6.1 or you will be a deemed resident on section 6.1a. Now, normal resident, we have to find it out. Case A. It says that if any person, it says you will be called a resident if any person is more than equal to 182 days in India. In previous year. So if any person is in India for 182 days or more in previous year means we are talking about 21-22. That means I am saying if from 1st April 21 till 31st March 22, if any person is in India for more than equal to 182 days, then he or she will be called resident in India. You can apply this upon yourself and you will get the answer whether you are a resident in India or not. So if from 1st April 2021 till now or till 31st March 22, if you have in India for 182 days or more, then you will be called a resident in India. So I am fulfilling this condition. So technically it can be said that I am a resident in India. If some foreign citizen comes to India and he stay in India for more than 182 days in previous year 21-22, then he or she always be called a resident in India. So even he or she is a citizen outside India, they are not citizen of India, they are citizen of some other country. But still, if somebody stay in India for a certain period, then he or she will become resident. That's what it was saying, that citizenship does not correlate with residential status. You might be a citizen of another country, but you can be a resident of India. So this is a condition. If you fulfill this condition, you will be called a resident in India. But we have another condition also. Either fulfill this or this. This is called basic condition. We are discussing basic condition. So you have two basic conditions. If you fulfill any one of them, this or this, any one of them, because we have or, not and. So if you fulfill any one of them, you will be called a resident in India. So if you are in India for 182 days, that means in a normal year, we have 365 days, clear, except in leap year. So if you have 365 days, and if you make it half, then it will 182.5. So technically it takes almost half in a year. We're talking about almost half of a year. So in examination, if you forgot the days, then you can do what? You can think about the number of days in a year divided by 2. It will come upon 182.5. Ignore the 5.5, then it will be 182 days. So if it takes almost half of the year, then you will be a resident in India. And if you are not able to fulfill the condition number 1, then we have condition number 2. It says if you are in India for then more or equal to 60 days only in India in previous year. And the condition number 2 has two conditions. You are in India for more than equal to 60 days, as well as you have to fulfill this also, that you are in India for more than equal to 365 days in India in four preceding previous year. So either you fulfill this condition, 182 days in previous year 21-22, that's it, you will be a resident. Or if you are not able to fulfill first condition, then you have to fulfill these both conditions, both 60 days in India as well as 365 or more days in India in four preceding previous year. So you have to be in India for 60 days or more in previous year 21-22, and four preceding previous year means 20-21, 90-20, 18-19, 17-18. In four preceding previous year, you have to be in India for more than equal to 365 days. So you have to fulfill both of them. Suppose in last 4 years, you are in India for 400 days. But in previous year 21-22, you are only in India for 50 days. Then second condition has not been fulfilled because plus sign has been made. That means if you want to fulfill second condition to becoming a resident, then you have to fulfill both. Like you are in India for 100 days in previous year, but in last 4 years, you are in India for only 300 days. Then also condition 2 will not be fulfilled. That means if you are not able to fulfill condition number 1 or 2, you might be called a non-resident. So if you are not a normal resident, if you are not a deemed resident, then you are a technically non-resident. So for becoming a normal resident, either you have to be in India in previous year for 182 days or more, or you have to in India in previous year for 60 days or more, and in last 4 preceding to previous year, excluding the previous year, 4 preceding previous year, you have to be in India for more than equal to 365 days. Let me tell you a clarification. In case of days counting, you need not to be continuously stay in India is not required. In condition, it does not say that you have to be in India for 182 days or more continuously. No, not even for these 60 days, not even for 365 days. There is no requirement of continuous stay. It has to be checked in aggregate in a year. For example, if you are in India for 100 days, then you went outside India in the same year, then you came back for 50 days, then you go outside India, then you came back and you stay in India for 40. So in aggregate, if you are in India for 190 days, then condition is fulfilled. In the same case, in last 4 preceding previous year, again, we do not need to be continuous 365 days. It might be like this. In 17-18, you are in India for 0 days. In 18-19, you are for 100 days. In 19-20, you are again for 0 days. And in 2021, you are for 300 days in India. In that case also, you are fulfilling this 365 days condition. So there is no requirement of continuous stay in India. The days will be checked in aggregate. Clarification number 1. Clarification number 2. They all have been written in the notes. Do not worry. Do not note it because clarification 1, 2, this diagram chart, everything has been uploaded. Everything is in notes. You just relax and just try to grab what I am saying, because I am noticing one thing, that it's good to ask question. It's good to ask your queries, whatever doubt in your mind. But again, I told you, ask your queries regarding the topic. I am noticing that some students are asking those kind of queries. Those are not connected to our topic, not directly, not indirectly. And if you are doing that, technically you are creating confusion to yourself. Like, how you need to study? If some teachers are providing lecture or if anywhere you are studying, then what we need to do, that whatever I am trying to teach you right now, if you getting that, then it's okay. Like what I taught you right now about how to become a normal resident, there are 2 conditions of basic condition A. If you are fulfilling any one of them, you are called a resident. So if you are got that condition, yes, in previous year, 182 days or more, resident. in previous year 60 or more, and plus 365 or more in 4 preceding previous year. If you understood that, then the work has been done. Now, do not ask what will happen if he is a resident in both countries, if he is going to pay tax in both countries, because this is not the concept we are discussing right now. We are just discussing how to become a resident and how to become a non-resident. That's simple. If you think other things, you are losing your focus on the topic, you are confusing yourself, and do not do this, because institute has made chapters in which you will understand each and everything one by one. So when you are studying this chapter, then focus on this. That will be really help you and me also. Okay. So this was the case, how we can find out that somebody is a resident or non-resident. Clarification one says continuous, we do not need continuous days of stay. The another clarification says the day of departure from India and the day of arrival in India. Like the problem arises when somebody is going outside India at 3 p.m. or somebody is coming into India at 11 p.m. Somebody is going outside India at 1 a.m. Then he is in India for only 1 hour at that day. Somebody is coming into India at 11 p.m. So he is in India for only 1 hour at that day. Then what will happen? The institute, the income tax department has made a very simple provision. The day of departure and the day of arrival will be assumed as whole day in India. As whole day in India. For counting of days in stay in India, if somebody is leaving India at 1 a.m., so technically he is in India. Suppose today somebody left at 1 a.m. in India. So technically he is in India for only 1 hour today. But what income tax will do? Today will be counted as he full day is a stay in India. For removing confusion, for removing problems, it has been made. In the same way, if somebody is landing into India, if somebody entered into India at 11:45 p.m. tonight, so he or she is in India only for 15 minutes. But for the purpose of income tax, we will count today as he or she stay full day in India. Okay, so the day of arrival and the day of departure will be assumed as India. Let me see the queries. What queries you have been asked? Again, somebody asked section 115 BAC. When I study chapter number 1, second session, there was section 115 BAC. I told that is not in our this session part. It has been written. It will be discussed is some other module. So if you are not taking classes, if you are getting into the class at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. or you have not seen the previous lecture and you are just coming and ask a random query, it will create a problem for you also, and it shows that you are not sincere. And I promise, if you are sincere, you have to be here at 7 o'clock. And you should take this class completely. Then it will, I can understand, then it will actually, this should be a practice that shows that yes, you are ready for this profession. If you're doing CA, then behave like a CA, of course. Because that professional needs discipline. So because institute is giving you everything free, these lectures, institute is actually working so hard for you. And because it's free, so sometimes we thought that it's free, we will join the class, we will see it whenever we want, we will, it's on YouTube, so I can see it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I can forward it. No, don't do this. That shows that you are not prepared for this profession yet. You do not get what is the CA means. It means discipline, sincerity, hard work. So institute is providing you after doing a lot of hard work. They just think about, imagine institute actually thought about you this much that they want every student should get the lecture. You cannot understand how much money institute spend on this thing only, this lecture, how much amount, huge amount has been spent for these lectures. And they are not charging a single penny from you. They are providing on YouTube also. But you should value that. If something is free, that does not mean that you can take it as the way you want. So if you want to be a CA, please be disciplined. Join the class. see the full lecture before asking any random queries. If you are joining today class and you are asking random queries, that's very, very, very bad. You have to see the previous lecture, or I personally believe if you watch the previous lecture, 90% of your query will be automatically solved before you asking to me. Okay. So let's see. Okay, where we are. Okay. Madhuri is asking, if a woman married with other country, what is the effect on the residential status? There is no effect due to marriage. Citizenship can be affected, but these provision will remain same. So if she stay in India for these days, she will be called a resident, or if she do not, then she will be a non-resident. Marriage does not affect the residential status of any person. Okay. Next is Shashwat Singhal, I guess. He's asking, sir, will you take only 5 lectures? You're absolutely a good teacher. Thank you so much. For now, I'll be appointed as a guest faculty for 5 sessions, and board of study will decide it that if they need to me for the lectures or not. And again, this is not a question. You should focus on study. To whomsoever faculty is coming and giving lecture, you should try to gain maximum knowledge. All faculties are very good. They are very good. The institute actually taking interviews, etc. After that, they technically appoint any faculty. So you should focus on your the lecture, the knowledge is providing to you from via me or someone else. It does not matter. Okay, focus. Next is a Payal is asking, out of 365 days, 60 days should be of previous year. I am asking that blue color pen written condition. Out of, no. The second condition says that 60 days should be seen in previous year 21-22. Clear? And the 365 days, they are separate. They are for preceding year, previous year. So in that preceding year, it is 20-21, 19-20, 18-19, and 17-18. 365 does not have any correlation with 60 days. 60 days is for previous year condition, and 365 is for preceding previous year. They are separate. Okay, Payal? Next, Himanshi, sir, in previous year 60 days and preceding previous year for 4 years 365 days. Is this correct? Yes, very good, correct. Very nice. Namrata is asking, if someone arrive exactly at 12 at night, exactly 12 at night, that means you are in the same day. 12 and 1 minute, that will be counted at another day. And it's not like that. It's not possible, because on time is recorded whenever somebody came to India, and if it is exactly 12, that will be counted as within that day, previous day. Parth saying, sir, I log in before 7 always. So you will be a chartered accountant very soon, of course, Parth, if you're doing this. Till now, okay, easy and simple. Sir, if person stay only 10 minutes, then he also considered whole day. Yes, of course, if he's staying for only 1 minute also in India, then of course he or she will be counted as full day in India. Okay. 17, 18, 100 days, 18, 19, 100 days, 19, 20, 164 days, 20-21, 40, 404. So we have to see also how much days she or he stay in India. Who's asking? Kiran. In previous year 21-22 days, you just written the days of 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, and 20-21. So total is 404. So second condition, second part is satisfied, but you have to be in India for in previous year also. 21-22, you have to be in India for 60 days or more. You did not write me that. So if she or he in India in previous year 21-22 for more than 60 days, then in your query that will be going to be a resident in that condition. PRS when asking, Indian origin is any related to the registered status? No, Indian origin is related to the birth only of the assessee or his parents or his grandparents. It does not affect any way the residential status conditions. Okay. In case of refugee, if they stay in India for more than 182 days, they will be also a resident, otherwise not, or government might be drafted some special provision for them also. Jameel sir, go great you are. You scolding is also so gentle that बुरा भी नहीं लगता and गलती का एहसास भी हो जाता है. Everything understandable, very clear. Shukriya, Mr. Jameel. Shukriya, shukriya. Thank you for your nice words. Okay. So let's moving further. Now we will discuss. I told you individual is not that simple. We did not finish individual provision yet. It was just the trailer. Individual provisions is yet to come more. So now I'm showing the chart in which I have prepared the whole provision in a single sheet. So that will be really easy to understand. So let me share with you that diagram. That was residential status provision. This was the provision. So I have comprised the whole provision in a single chart. And one by one, I am going to show you that what are the provision. So first of all, let us see the provision. We already discussed about residential status of a firm and others and company. Then I'll move on to the HUF and then we will discuss about the individuals. So you can see that the whole provisions covered in this diagram. So in case of firms and other, we have seen that control and management is important. And that means business meetings. Of course, if they are wholly or partly in India, resident. If they are wholly outside India, the firm will be called a non-resident. As simple as that. Simplest provision. That's why it's not that important for examination. Okay. Now in case of company, Indian company will always be resident. I have told you. Foreign company, we have to see the place of effective management. Detail meaning in final. That is also written, of course. And if place of effective management in substance in India, then that company foreign will be called a resident. And if it's outside India, that will be called a non-resident. Again, as simple as that. Now moving on to our HUF provision. That has also been discussed. In case of HUF, we need to see the control and management again. That business meeting, wholly partly in India or wholly outside India. If it's wholly outside India, non-resident. If it's wholly partly in India, it's resident. If resident, then I told you there are two provisions. ROR or it should be RNOR. When a HUF will be called a RNOR or RNOR, ROR or RNOR, that will be discussed after the provision of individual. So we will discuss in chart also after we complete the provision regarding individual. Now moving on to our individual provision. Okay. Now individual has two concepts like resident or non-resident. So moving on to our resident provision, I also told that there are two kinds of resident, normal under section 6.1 or deemed resident under section 6.1a. So in case of normal resident, we discuss about the general individual case, case A. I told you we were discussing case A in the diagram, and case A says there is two conditions, condition 1 or 2. You need to fulfill any one of them. And if you fulfilling any one of that condition, you will be called a resident. Okay. First condition was same. First condition we discussed, and that was this condition, of course. 182 days in previous year, 21-22 in India. The notes I uploaded in that notes chart, there is wrongly, mistakenly writing previous year 20-21. In this chart, I have corrected it. It's 21-22, but the notes on chart uploaded in that uploaded chart and portal, it is 20-21. So you should change it as a 21-22. Okay. So the provision says that if you fulfill this condition, condition number 1, that is if you are more than equal to 182 days in previous year 21-22 in India, you will be called a resident, or you have to fulfill these both conditions. More than equal to 60 days in India in previous year 21-22 and more than equal to 365 days in 4 preceding previous year in India. That is 20-21, 90-20, 18-19 and 17-18. So in 4 preceding previous year, you have to be in India for more than or equal to 365 days. So I have cleared yet the provision I have already made in diagram. I have just shown you in this systematic diagram also. Now case B, we will discuss from here only, because that is clearly written and you can see it, of course. So the now case B says, let me clear it. Now case B says, just a second, okay. Now, a special individual case. Case B says that's a special individual case. What is the special individual case? It says, generally it happens, you have to fulfill any one of that condition what we discussed. That you have to be in India for more than 182 days, or you have to be in India 60 days plus 365 days. But there are some special cases. And what are the special cases and how it works? Let's see. Now we are moving on to special cases. We are discussing normal resident case. In normal resident, we discuss case number A, which says there are two conditions, more than equal to 182 days or more than equal to 60 plus 365 days condition. So either if you are fulfilling any one of them, you will be called a resident. But now it comes a special case, that is B case. I have give it a name, B case. Now it says for three different category of situation. They are, we can say they are exceptional case, they are a special case, they are exceptional case. In these three categories of special cases, to find out that someone is resident or not, have separate implication. What are the implication? Let me tell you what we are discussing. Like for Mr. Ram, we need to check it out in both condition of A, 182 days, whether he is a resident, and second condition more than equal to 60 days plus more than equal to 365 days. So if he is fulfilling any one of it, he or she will be called a resident in India. That we have discussed. But in a special case, there are some special provisions has been made. For whom? Let's see. It says if there is an individual who is a citizen of India. I told you what is the meaning of citizen of India initially because of this reason. Because now the word citizen has came. So we already knew what is the meaning of citizen. So now we not need to discuss. We already knew it. So this benefit, this B condition, a special provision is for only those individuals, those are citizen of India. So it says when there is an individual who is a citizen of India and who is going outside India. Like I am a citizen of India, applicable on yourself. You are an individual, you are a citizen of India. Yes, we all are citizen of India. Clear? And if we are going outside India for, it says if those individuals, those are citizen of India, and if they are going outside India for employment purpose, for doing job, of course, if you are going, if I am going outside India for employment purpose or as a crew member, of an Indian ship. So it says if any individual who is a citizen of India, so that is I am fulfilling this condition. So if I am going outside India and I am going for which purpose? Either doing employment, that means doing job outside India, or as an employee. Crew member means employee of an Indian ship. So if I am leaving India permanently, because if I'm going for employment or as an employee of an Indian ship, that means I am leaving India with a permanent intention. So the intention of going outside India is permanent. I'm not going outside India for just traveling, because if I'm going for traveling, I'll be come back soon. If I'm not going outside India for some marriages, because if I'm going out of India to attend some marriage, then I will come back. So in visa, if it has been written, then somebody is going outside India for employment or as a member of an Indian ship, then special case has been made, and its special case says Generally on individual, we check both condition. Generally on individual, we check both condition to find out that they are resident or not. But if individual is a citizen of India and he is going outside India permanently, he or she is going outside India permanently for employment or as a member of an Indian ship, then to find out whether he is a resident of India or not, only this condition need to be checked. First only. That means if I am an individual and citizen of India, if I am going outside India for employment or the member of a crew, then I will be called a resident if I fulfill only this condition. So only first condition will be applicable. The 60 days plus 365 days condition will not be applicable to those individual citizen of India and going outside for this purpose. For example, if Mr. A, who is a citizen of India, going outside India, first time, in previous year 21-22 on 1st November 2021. Assume Mr. A, citizen of India, going outside India first time in previous year 21-22 on 1/11/2021 for travel. He is going outside India for traveling purpose only. So we will check whether Mr. A is a citizen of India or not, and we have to check both condition, 182 days condition and 60 plus 365 days condition both. And if he is fulfilling any one of them, then he or she will be called a resident in India. If any one of them have been fulfilled, then he will be called a resident in India. But if in question has been written, then he is going only for job outside India, then only condition 1, that is 182 days, will be applicable. Second condition will not be checked in this case. Understood? So special case number 1 says that if there is an individual who is citizen of India, is going outside India for employment as a member of a crew, then we will check only first condition to find out whether he or she is a resident in India or not. If you are going outside for other purpose, then both condition will be checked. If you are not a citizen of India, if you are not a citizen of India, but you are going outside India for employment, again, both condition will be checked. So these both condition will be fulfilled to get the benefit of only condition number 1. You should be a citizen as well as you are going for employment or member of a Indian ship. Then only you will get the benefit of only first condition need to be checked. Why I'm saying this benefit? Because if you are becoming a resident in India, then you have to pay tax more. And if you are becoming a non-resident in India, then you have to pay tax less. So for the purpose of income tax, it is always beneficial to be a non-resident. So if you fall in first special case, then you only need to check condition 1. And if it does not fulfill, then you will be a non-resident. Understood? Let me give one more example. Let's take an example that Mr. X going outside India first time on 1st August 2021. So he is going on 1st August. That means in this previous year, he is in India for April 30 days, May 31 days, June 30 days, July 31 days, and August also will include one day because he is going on 1st of August. So one day will be also be treated as in India. So total days he stay in India is 123 days in previous year. And he is going first time in India, first time outside India. That means he was always in India before this year. Now, if it is questioned and written that Mr. X is a citizen of India, and now if it has been written that he is going for travel, tell whether he's a resident of India or not. So if he is going for traveling, then we need to check both condition more than 182 days in India. So how many days in India? Only 123. So this condition does not fulfill. And now we will check second condition also because he is going for traveling. That means in India in previous year 60 days or more. And in last 4 years 365 days or more. So in India in previous year he is 123 days. So this condition has been fulfilled. And because he is going first time outside India, that means in last 4 years, he is always in India. So he was almost 1300 days in India. That means in last 4 years, he is also more than 365 days in India. So he is fulfilling this condition and this also. So both fulfill. So he will be called a resident in India because he was going for traveling. But suppose if I change that he is not going for traveling, he is going for job outside India. And because he is going for job outside India, we will check condition number 1 only, which is not fulfilled because he is in India for only 123 days. And second condition will not be checked because in this case only first condition needs to be checked. So what he will be called, because he is not fulfilling first condition, he might be called a non-resident. And for the purpose of income tax, it's good to be a non-resident. Understood? That was our first special case, which is for those citizens, goes outside India for the purpose of employment or as a member of an Indian ship. That was for those individual, those are citizen of India. Now same second case is, in second case also, only first condition will be checked, but second case is applicable for individuals. In exam, always you should see is special case applicable or not. Whenever you read a question in residential status, always check whether does it question fall in special case or not. Because if it is falling in a special case, then condition 1 will be checked in case number 1 and 2. And if it does not fall in special case B, then in normal case, you have to check both condition also. So condition number B, first special condition for individual, those are citizen and going outside India. And second special case is for individual, citizen oblique POIO. This is applicable for both, person of Indian origin, both. First exception applicable only for citizen, but this is applicable for both, whether you're a citizen of India or person of Indian origin. So if you are an individual, whether citizen of India or POIO who reside outside India, those permanently reside outside India. Like I am a person of Indian origin, I am shifted to, you can say, USA. I went to USA and I reside there permanently. But those person who reside outside India comes to visit India. Now they are coming to visit India. Like I reside permanently USA, and after 2 or 3 years, I usually come to India. It happens. Your relatives, some of your relatives might be have been shifted to foreign countries, and after 2 or 3 years or after 1 year, they might come to India to visit, to meet you. So this condition is applicable for those persons. So they should be citizen of India and person of Indian origin who reside outside India and comes to visit. So if they comes to only visit, they are not coming into India permanently. They are just coming for a visit. So in that condition also, only first condition will be checked. If they visit in India for 182 days or more in previous year, then they will be called resident in India. And if they visit for less than 182 days, then in that case, they will be called a non-resident. Second condition is again not applicable. So in condition special case 1 and special case 2, same provision applicable. If you fall in special case 1, only first condition will be checked. If you fall in special case number 2, only first condition will be checked. If you fulfill that condition, you will be a resident. If you do not fulfill that condition, you will be a non-resident. Like we can say that, like, assume Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jones both are coming to India to visit. So in that situation, Priyanka Chopra is a person of Indian origin. So if she is coming to visit with her husband, then for Priyanka Chopra, only first condition will be checked, that if she stay in India for more than 182 days or equal, she will be called a resident. But because of Nick Jones, he is not a citizen of India and he is also not a person of Indian origin. To ascertain that Mr. Nick Jones is a resident or non-resident, both condition will be checked. Both condition. 182 as well as 60 days plus 365 days. So for Priyanka Chopra, only first condition will be checked, but for foreign citizen and those who not are POIO, for them, both condition will be checked to find it out whether he is a resident or a non-resident. Understand? So always remember this example of Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jones, and you will understand what I am trying to say. To whom we will check this. If I am going outside India for permanently, then also this provision will be applicable. That is first case. And in second case, citizen, POIO, both included. In first case, only citizen included. Person of Indian origin does not have the benefit of first exception. If you are not a citizen of India, but person of Indian origin and going outside India for employment, then in that case, both condition will be checked. So these were condition number 1 and condition number 2. Those were special condition. Now we are moving on to our third special condition. They are little tricky, but you will read it after class. After I finish my lecture, revise it once and you will find it out. When we revise something, things got clear, more clear. Fine. So now the third condition is applicable on to individual. Those are citizen, oblique POIO. Third is also providing benefit to both, whether you are a citizen of India or person of Indian origin. So remember, first is for individual. Those are citizen only, going outside India for employment or as a member of an Indian ship. Second is individual. Those are citizen or POIO who reside outside India and comes to visit India. And now third is for individual. Those are citizen or person of Indian origin and comes to visit, again, who reside outside India. Almost same like point number 2, but there is a slight difference. That's why I'm writing in the third case. Residing outside India, and there's a new thing is coming, and who has total income, whose total income exceeding 15 lakh in previous year. So there's a difference. Almost third point is like similar to second benefit, but there's a difference. We are now taking only those person of Indian origin or citizen, those coming for visit and whose total income exceeding 15 lakh. I told you that there's an amendment in residential status. That's why it's got more important and complicated. So this was the amendment. Earlier, there was no third point, only 1 and 2 point was there. But from last year, department inserted a new third point also. So individual, those are citizen or person of Indian origin who reside outside India and who has total income exceeding 15 lakh in previous year out of Indian resources. So that income has been earned out of Indian resources, like Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jones. So Priyanka Chopra still works for India. She has done movies, she is doing ad campaign, etc. So if she is coming, then she has income which is exceeding 15 lakh and which she is earning from India. So if somebody is coming from outside India and if she or he is a citizen or person of Indian origin and she also or he also earn Indian income, and that is exceeding 15 lakh rupees in previous year. So for that category person, we have a special provision. Understand? If they do not have income exceeding 15 lakh, then they will fall in second category. So second and third category is only one difference. If income is exceeding 15 lakh from Indian sources, if income exceeding 15 lakh, if that person earning income exceeding 15 lakh rupees from Indian sources, then you will fall in third category to find it out whether you are a resident or non-resident. If your income is less than 15 lakh or you do not have any income from Indian resources, then you will fall in category number 2. So 2 or 3 is a difference of only this income criteria inserted. So if you fall in third category, like if Priyanka Chopra is coming, now we will not check condition number 2 because she earned income more than 15 lakh from Indian resources. So in that case, she will be a resident if she is in India for more than or equal to 182 days. That's the condition applicable in all cases. And a new condition has been inserted in third category person. For third category person, there are 2 conditions and there is a new condition. There is technically not new. The condition we check on normal cases, like in normal cases, we check the second condition like 60 and 365. That condition just upgraded. And second condition is like double the days, 120 days or more in previous year, plus more than equal to 365 days in 4 previous year. So 60 days has been substituted by 120 days. That's it. So either of that condition, if fulfilled, then that person will be called a resident, otherwise non-resident. So I know there is some complication arises due to this third point. Earlier it was very simple point, but due to this third point, a little more complicated provision has been made, and that's good. When the law becomes difficult, always feel happy because now your value will increase. If law is easy, imagine if law is like this, whatever you will earn, you have to pay income tax 5%, that's it. Then what we will do? What chartered accountants will do? It's complicated. That's why it cannot be understood by normal people. That's why we are studying it. And that's why we are going to be paid in future. Understand what I'm saying? Just got that what I'm saying? That technically, whenever the law becomes difficult, your value will increase. If law becomes easy, a common people will understand that, then your value will be down. So the law, whenever it becomes complicated, then always be happy as a professional, because it will be, if that is complicated for you, then imagine how complicated it is for a normal people. The businessman is paying you. Why? Because he was not able to understand what is the law. Always understand this thing, that you are not studying for yourself. Listen it carefully what I'm saying. You are not technically studying for yourself. You are studying for those person who is still in bed and sleeping. That's why you are waking up and study, because he is the one who is sleeping, who is doing business, who is doing some other work, who is doing BCom, etc. Because he is the one who will come to you and he is going to pay you. So we do not technically study for ourselves. We technically studying for those are not studying. A doctor does not become a doctor to treat himself. He becomes a doctor for us. So that's the same reason we are studying for that doctor, because he will come to us to file his income tax returns or for his business accounts maintenance. So because of he's not studying what we are studying, and that is a complicated thing. That's why we are getting paid. So always feel good whenever you see, oh my God, this subject is so difficult. That's why you are going to get the money for that subject. Understand? So never feel bad when you feel that subjects are difficult, topics are difficult, because it is difficult. That's why your value is there. So the third point make things complicated, a little complicated. And it says if you are an individual, citizen POIO coming to India, and you have total income exceeding 15 lakh from Indian sources, then you have to be a resident. We have to check two conditions. They are same two conditions and nothing new. But that's the difference is 60 has been substituted by 120. More than 182 days in India, or more than equal to 120 days in previous year, and more than equal to 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. So I am doing what? I am making a chart. That's why you can understand the process, of course. And now I'll show you the diagram, which has been properly maintained. So you will understand very easily that everything has been in that diagram also. So that was 3 special cases. You can see that is individual plus citizen and going outside India for employment or crew member of an Indian ship. Then he or she will be resident if 182 days in India only. First condition applicable. If individual citizen POIO comes to India for a visit, then he or she will be a resident if 182 days in India. Clear? Now the third case, what we just discussed. Individual citizen POIO comes to India for visit having total income exceeding 15 lakh from Indian resources, then he or she will be resident if now they have two conditions. More than equal to 182 days in previous year 21-22. The chart I uploaded in that chart is 20-20. I will upload this new chart. Fine. So you will not get confused. So in 182 days condition will be checked, and the new condition is this, and there is nothing new. Technically, there is a substituted 120 in place of 60. So 120 days in India in previous year 21-22, and more than equal to 360 days in 4 preceding previous year in India. So that's how we are going to find out the residential status of an individual in normal category. So normal category we have two cases. Generally, we have to check two conditions, 182 or 60 plus 365. And these 3 cases special. Out of these 3, in case of first case, only 182 condition will be checked. In case of 2, only 182 condition will be checked. And in case of 3, we have to check 2 condition, 182 and 120 will be replaced in place of 60 days. So we can find it out that whether he or she will be a resident or not. But it's still not completed. Individual has super provision now. So that was how we can find it out that section 6.1 resident or non-resident. If you fulfilling condition A or B special condition, you will be a resident, else you will be a non-resident. Now moving on to C case, that is called deemed resident. Section 6.1. It's very, very simple. After section 6.1, it's very simple. Now it says, if citizen of India, now it's a very slight difference between the third point of special case. You will feel they are same, but there are some difference, very, very thin difference. Deemed resident says that if it's just citizen, deemed resident does not include POIO. It only talks about citizen of India. So if you are a citizen of India, you reside outside India, comes to visit or not. In a special case B, third condition needs POIO and visit also. But in case section 6.1a, we need a citizen of India only who reside outside India. He comes to visit or not, does not matter. And having a total income exceeding 15 lakh from Indian sources, that is same. But there's a new thing. If he has not paid tax on that Indian source income anywhere, not paid tax on this income outside India anywhere, then whether he comes to India or does not comes to India, he or she will be called automatically deemed resident. It's so beautiful. When things got complicated, I feel wonderful. Wow, so beautifully drafted. So to whomsoever it may concern who drafted this amendment, I really feel so good that, wow, what he drafted. So that was a case, normal resident. And now the concept came deemed resident. In normal, we have seen two condition, 182 and 60 and plus 365. Okay. Then in normal special condition, there was three special condition we just discussed. Going outside India, citizen. Then citizen or person in origin comes to visit India. In these both case, 182 condition applicable only. Then third special case was saying whether you are a POIO, citizen, comes to visit India, having Indian source income exceeding 15 lakh. Then two condition 182 or 120 plus 365. We have discussed this. Okay. Now deemed resident, it's slightly strict provision and very fixed, very straightforward. It says if you are a citizen of India, then it will applicable. If you are not a citizen, only POI, deemed resident concept not applicable. So if you are a citizen of India and you have more than 15 lakh Indian source income. One difference was either citizen, there was both. Second difference, more than 15 lakh Indian source income on which tax not has been paid anywhere outside India. If you have Indian source income, but you have paid tax on that income outside India, then section 6(1) is not applicable. So first condition need to be fulfilled for applicability of section 6(1) that you should be a citizen of India. You must having income of more than 15 lakh from Indian sources. 3, tax has not been paid anywhere outside India. So Indian government say, wow, you are earning income from us and you are not paying tax in India or outside India. So we will take tax from you via making you a deemed resident. So if you have not paid any tax anywhere in India, now the amazing thing, whether you visit to India or no, there is no difference. Whether you comes to visit or you do not come to visit, not an issue. We will treat you as a deemed resident. There's a fixed provision. This is the only case in which there is no requirement of visiting into India. There is no requirement to come to India for even a single day. If you fulfilling condition 1, 2, 3, 4, you will be a deemed resident. And what will happen? Because I told you, if you are a resident, then you need to pay tax more and you need to pay tax on technically a lot of income which you earn. On which income we need to pay tax when you are a resident or a non-resident? What is the benefit of becoming a non-resident? That will also be a part of this chapter. That will be discussed in section 5, incidence of tax. But before that, we need to understand who is a resident or who is a non-resident. So there are normal resident. Now there is a deemed resident concept also there. Fine. So deemed resident is also very interesting. Government technically applicable this, that even you are not coming to India, not even for a single day. You are not coming to India in your dreams. You are not even thinking about coming into India. But if you are fulfilling these conditions, we will assume you like a deemed resident. These are the specific provision, deemed resident. Let me tell you, individual provision of resident and non-resident does not end yet. That's why I told you these are so amazingly drafted. So we just come to know when an individual will be a resident or non-resident. If you are falling in section 6(1), any case, general or special, you are a resident. If you are falling in section 6(1)(a), you are a deemed resident, still a resident technically. But if you are not falling under section 6(1) or 6(1)(a) in any condition, then you called a non-resident. If individual does not fall in A, B or C, A is my 6(1) general condition, B is my 6(1) special condition, and C is my deemed resident. So if you does not fall in any of them, you will be called a non-resident. If the answer is non-resident, the answer is over. But in exam, examiner will not going to do this. He will make you a resident, because if you are a resident, then the story will continue like this. If individual become resident due to A, B or C condition, if you become resident due to normal provision, due to special provision, or due to deemed resident, then you have to classify it whether you are a resident, ordinary resident, or whether you are a resident or not ordinary resident. So this is the sub classification as we have seen in case of HUF. There was also RNOR and ROR. What we said we will discuss after individual provisions. So that's why we were saying that, because we have to understand the provision of ROR and RNOR. Then we'll move into the provision of HUF, of ROR and RNOR. So when an individual become resident, if he or she become non-resident, answer finish. But if he or she become resident, then we have to find it out whether he or she is a resident and not ordinary resident, or resident or ordinary resident. How? I'll tell you how. Just wait. So now technically we have reached over here. We have individual. Whether your individual become non-resident or he or she will become resident. So if he or she is fulfilling condition A, generally resident, special cases resident, or deemed resident. So if he or she become resident, then we will move further to find it out whether he or she is a ROR or whether he or she is a NOR. RNOR. Now, the simple case is this: if he or she is not RNOR, then he or she always become ROR. How we will find it out? There are technically 4 cases. So, if any individual who becomes resident, fulfill any one of this condition, out of any 4, any one condition, then he or she will become resident and not ordinary resident. And if he or she does not fulfill any 4 of any condition, then he or she will become resident and ordinary resident. So if no one is fulfilled, then automatically you will become a resident and ordinary resident. So a very simple provision is this. Starting from first point, it says if after becoming a resident, we have to check it out that whether you are a resident or not ordinary resident or ROR. So for that condition, one say that if that person is less than 730 days, in 7 preceding previous year in India. If you fulfill this condition, you will be a resident, not ordinary resident. If you fulfill this condition, if your resident fulfill this condition, the resident who becomes resident because he fulfill normal or special or deemed resident conditions. So if that person fulfill less than 730 days in 7 PPY in India, then he or she will be called resident and not ordinary resident. 7 PPY means like our previous year is this one. So we do not need to consider this year because that is going to be considered for the purpose of resident or non-resident. We need to take 7 preceding previous year. That means 20-21, 19-20, 18-19, 17-18, 16-17, 15-16, 3, and 14-15. So these are 7 preceding previous. In these 7 preceding year, if that person is less than 730 days, not even 730, should be less than 730 days, then he or she will become resident, not ordinary resident. Understood? For example, Mr. A, a foreign citizen, he is from USA, suppose he is from USA. He's a USA citizen. So for our country, he's a foreign citizen, comes to India. 100 days every year from last 10 years. So Mr. A, a foreign citizen, USA, comes to India 100 days every year from last 10 years. We need to find out his residential status. So what we will do? First of all, we will check whether he will fall in any special case or not. So because he's a foreign citizen, and for a special case number 1, we need a citizen, India. In a special case number 2, we need citizen of India. In a special case number 3, we also need citizen of India. So because of he is a foreign citizen, he does not fall in any special case number B. So he will be checked by both condition to become a resident or not. That is more than 182 days in previous year. Or he needs to fulfill this condition more than equal to 60 days in previous year plus more than equal to 365 days in 4 preceding previous year. After this, I will take your queries, then we will end the session. So if you see, he comes 100 days every year. So that means if we check this condition needs in previous year 182 days and he is only in India for 100 days. So he is not fulfilled this condition. So we will move on to further second condition. Why second condition? Because special case is not applicable, and if you are not covered under special case, then you need to be checked by normal case. And in normal case, he is in India for 100 days in this year. So 60 days condition has been fulfilled. And in 4 preceding previous year, he is in India for 400 days because he comes to India for 100 days every year. So last 4 preceding year, he was in India for 400 days. That means 60 condition fulfilled because he's in India in previous year 100 days, and 365 condition also fulfilled because he was in India for 400 days. So he will be a resident, of course. As per A case, he will be called a resident. Now, because he is a resident, now we will check whether he is a resident NOR or ROR. So we will check condition number 1, and it says he needs to be in India in less than 730 days in previous year. So in previous year, he was in 100 days. And if you will count in last 7 years, so he will be in India for 700 days. So is 700 less than 730 or not? Of course, yes. So he fulfills first condition of this RNOR case. So he will be called a resident, but not ordinary resident. Understood? You have to take step by step. Whenever the question is asking, you have to check whether you fall in the special category B case or not. If you are not in B case, you have to go to check A condition both. If you are a resident, then you need to check resident NOR case. And if first condition is fulfilled, your answer is over. You are a R, NOR. You not need to check condition number 2, 3 or 4 because we just need to fulfill any one condition. So if first condition is fulfilled under resident, not ordinary resident, then we not need to check other conditions. So in this example, he will be called a resident and not ordinary resident. So first condition was this. Remaining 3 points I will discuss in next session because things will be really complicated after point number 2. So I do not want you should get confused more because we have discussed a lot of things today. So I just wanted things should be crystal clear. Before my second session, like the day after tomorrow, I prefer that you should revise this whole topic once again. So when I'll discuss the further condition, you will not get confused. Okay. And I'll take MCQ day after tomorrow. Till now, whatever I taught you, day after tomorrow in starting of the class. Like today, we have just taken it. So you can revise it and then you can answer me easily. Let me take queries, then we will go for it. Okay. Indian company versus India. Okay. Miss Vanshari Vidvans is asking, Indian company situated outside India or of India, how it will be treated? What are you asking? What are you asking? Indian company cannot be situated outside India. Our company's law says that there is a situation clause. In situation clause, it has to be any state in which that registered office is situated. So if you Your registered office is not in India. You cannot be registered under Indian Companies Act. So Indian company cannot be outside India. Oh God, what are you doing? Please, please think what are you saying? That's a wrong question. Indian company cannot be outside India. Okay. Next, Kanish Kashyap, sir, if possible, please explain it by making chart. I am making chart, of course. For every provision, I am making chart and I am referring it with my diagram, which I have been uploaded also. So that will be crystal clear everything. Okay, Kiran is asking, sir, in second, find 21, 22, 59. For previous year, 365. Kiran, if in previous year 21, 22, you are less than 60 days, then whether in last 4 preceding year you are more than 365, that is irrelevant. You will be called a non-resident, or second condition is not technically fulfilled. Previous year days are separate from 4 preceding previous year days. Previous year days we need to take from previous year 21, 22, and 4 preceding year will be counted from 20, 19, 20, 21, 21, 17, 18, and 18, 19. Clear? If Mr. X going for traveler, what are you asking, Mr. Parth? If you're going for traveling, then option and then the special condition will not be applicable, of course. Only for this second purpose is exemption given. Yes, sir, not other purpose. Mr. X going for job non-resident. Somebody is going outside India, it will not decide you are a non-resident or not. You have to check the date, the timing of when you are leaving India. Like for now, if I leave India now for a job outside India, so for this previous year 21, 22, we are on like 22nd of February. So from 1st April 21 till now, I am already in India for more than 182 days. So for this year, I will be called a resident. Yes. In next year, if I am not coming to India and I will be there and I am not coming in India for 182 days or more, then I will be a non-resident for next year, not this year. Like these are numerical topics, and numerical topics has one quality. If you learn from provision, you can learn it. You can learn all the provision by heart, but you will understand only when we will solve the numerical concept. So next session, I'll take numericals also of residential status. Then you will understand the process exactly. So I, excuse me. So I request you all to please revise this. And the next session, you will understand that if you will revise the provision, and if after that, we will go for the numerical topic, that technically make things very, very easy. Because every numerical is based on your theoretical provision. Okay. Okay, Pooja is asking what is meant by crew member. Spelling is C-R-E-W. Crew member is employee of an Indian ship. If you are going on an Indian ship as an employee, if you got a job, like you know Merchant Navy. So if you got a job in Merchant Navy, that is called crew, C-R-E-W, crew. Okay. Okay, Panda is asking, sir, if on August 1st, 2021, X is going outside India, then 2021 will be the previous year. No. If 1st August 2021 he is going, then previous year will be 2021-2022. Previous year will start from 1st April 2021 till 31st March of 22. Exactly. If you are going on 1 August 2021, then 1st August 2021, we are not saying preceding previous year. 2020 and 2021 will be preceding previous year. If you are going today, like today is 22nd of February 2022. So this day will fall in which previous year? Previous year means current year. Preceding previous year means back year. In income tax, previous year means current year. So 22nd February 2022, we are here. So this is the part of our previous year 21-22. That means 1st April 21 till 31st March 22. Okay, Jay asking, sir, we have to check the condition that 60 days in previous year and 365 in 4 previous year. 60, am I correct? You are correct. High five from Wi-Fi Gandhi. Vinod. Sir, the most NR who came to India in 2021 will fall in R due to shutdown of flights and exceed 182 days. Yeah, it might be. It might might be possible. If they are over here, then they will be called a resident, of course, no problem. But what the fun of being a resident? If you have income, then it's going to be taxable. If you do not earn any income in India, then you're not going to pay tax. Okay, you will revise twice. Very good. Is it sufficient for passing the exam? Yeah, it's more than sufficient if you are passing the examination, Navneet. Okay, next is individual citizen POIO go outside India on permanent basis for employment. Here we have to check basic condition. Yes, if individual citizen is going outside India for permanent job, then you have to check the only first condition. If first condition fulfilled, then he or she will be a resident, otherwise non-resident. Sir, if government delegates comes to India and fulfill the residency status, do we consider him as resident of India or deemed resident of India? If foreign government delegates, or you are talking about the Indian government delegates who job outside India? So technically, if foreign government delegates come to India and stay for a certain time period, then they could be treated as resident. If they fulfill the condition of days, then that could be treated as a resident. If they leave before the day, or they are just coming for visit, then visit provision will apply. If they are coming permanently, then permanent provision will apply. So provision will be same for everyone. Whether it's a government official, whether it's any one person, the provision will apply accordingly. The special condition override general, of course, if you fall in a special condition, then you can see you have to check the condition only one, not the second condition. And for third special provision, there is a separate condition of 120 days. Of course, the special provision override always the general provision. So if the individual is residing, who is asking, Chetan Sharma, own home or on rent, is this factor used to consider? No, it does not matter. You in India, whether you are in a permanent house or your rented house or on a park or on a flyover or on a bridge or on a railway track, wherever you are, if you are in India, it does not matter where you live, as a rent, as a tenant, as a owner, it does not affect your status. Okay, now how to treat a person employed in Indian Embassy? Indian Embassy, yeah, that's a separate provision. We have a chapter 3 that will be treated. Then in that chapter, that is a provision that how to taxable the income of an person. Those are appointed in India. So technically in that case, they might be a resident, but they need not to pay tax because our ambassador is located outside India and their ambassador is in India. So our both countries make the provision that they do not need to pay any tax over here. So there's a separate provision. We will discuss it in chapter number 3. Technically, they not need to pay tax. They might be called a resident. Next, sir, you explaining the concept so easily. If anyone asks me while sleeping, I can explain them. Congratulations, very nice. You are going to be a CA. Okay, your summary made all difference clear. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're crystal clear. I'll remember everything instructively. Very nice. The charts are very helpful. Yes, charts are very helpful. You can even make this chart in examination also. And chart can be made by only that person who technically and practically understand the provision. So if you made the diagram with the theoretical answer, you will get the full marks. So charts are really helpful for getting good marks. But remember, please make chart only when you are confident. You know the exact provision, because a single mistake in chart can be easily found out by the examiner. So do remember that. I have uploaded the all chart, but the chart of register status, I will update it and I will of course upload it today. So, sir, if non-residents stay in India more than 730 days, we can consider as resident, ordinary resident. I'll tell you the whole provision. Our resident and not ordinary resident concept is yet to be completed. 3 conditions are left. And yes, we can say if these 3 conditions has not been fulfilled, then in that case, it will be a ROR. But your question is different. You are asking if non-residents stay in India for more than, no. If it is a non-resident, then your answer is finished. Non-resident do not have any category. So if you are saying is a non-resident, so somebody is non-resident, then if he is staying for more than 730, etc., irrelevant. Resident and not ordinary resident subclassification is only for if you are a resident. If you are a non-resident, then your answer is finished. There is no subclassification. Got it? Who was asking it? Rajini. Okay. So in case if there is a company having its branches outside India, so the income from those branches will be taxable in India or in that country. Income will be taxable in India also. The concept is this: if you have branches outside India, those branches will be treated same status as the head office. So might be you need to pay tax in both countries, or you might be need to pay tax in one country. If you are paying tax in both country, I have told there is a chapter which is called double taxation avoidance agreement that you will be going to be study when you will be in final. So you for now can understand, yes, they need to pay tax in India. For other countries, they need to pay tax or not. For that, we need to read the other countries' income tax also. So अभी तो हमको ये वाला पढ़ना है, अभी तो यही वाला हो जाएगा तो काफी है. So we need to cover this income tax of Indian. That is more complicated. Once we done with that, then you will be in final. Then you will find it out how to calculate tax in this situation. Fine. What if POIO go outside for employment purpose for Indian ship? If POIO only going outside India for employment, then we have to check both conditions. That means he's not falling in special condition. Then we will check his status via both condition, 182 days and 60 days plus 365 days. Who was asking that? Pasang Dorji. Okay. So what if leaving India for education purpose? If you are leaving India for education purpose, that is not for employment purpose, both conditions going to be checked. Next, if the individual exceeding more than 60 days in 21-22 and more than 365 days in 21-20, is he will be a resident in India? Yes, of course, he will be a resident in India if he is not falling in the special condition. Who was asking? Gadi Siri. Okay. Relevant numerical problem. You made it easy, sir. If there is a company having its branches outside India, so I just told. I have just told. Who is asking? Kush Marvi. I have explained the branches concept to you. Namrata is asking, citizen goes for 4 or 5 months out of India for employment. No, it's not that kind of employment. If you are going for a trip, if your employer said that go for out of India for 4 or 5 months, then that special condition will not apply, because it has been said that employment purpose means permanent you are going outside India. But your employer send you for 4 or 5 months or 10 months project outside India, and then it's already known that you need to come back to India. And it has been written in your visa. From visa, you can understand, you can find it out. Somebody is going permanent or not. In that condition, if you're going for 4 or 5 months, then special condition not applicable. And the normal condition, 182, 60 plus 365, both will be applicable to find out whether he's a resident or not. Okay. So the Indian citizen whose income is 16 lakh and 20, and his day in that is 30 days and his days in 20 days, what is the status of 2022? You did not mention, Pondara, where he reside, whether that Indian citizen reside in India or outside India. I personally feel you need to ask that if he or she is residing outside India, there is 30 days and his days are in 21 is 200 days. What is the residential status? Kindly tell me either he or she is residing outside India or he or she is visiting in India during the previous year, then I'll be able to answer your question. Branches answer I have given already. How much time you will ask same question? Kush. Branches. Oh my God. How many time you're asking? Kush, this is not good. This is bad. Do not ask same question 50 times. You have already answered it. In case of branches outside India, income from those branches will be taxable or not. I explained to you that will be covered in your double taxation avoidance agreement if you will able to come into the final. So please, it's a request. Do not ask the same queries like 40 or 30 times. It's not a good manners. Of course, you're doing a professional course, so have patience. I'll answer each and every query. Just do not worry. Just relax. Charts and notes are Shinji is on the Board of Studies portal. Download the app, go to your section. You will find all the charts and notes on the Board of Study portal. Next class. Okay, so I think we have done for today. I have taken all the queries. So in the last, not the least, I want to take, please do revise the lecture, what I have just told you. In the next session, I'll ask the MCQ first, and then we will complete this lecture. And as I say, I will tell you before ending my classes how to make study interesting, how to create interest in your subject and study. That will really going to help you. And so now, for now, please do study, stay healthy, stay safe, padhte raho, ladte raho, and see you soon again.